Believe this should be looking good here. Um, Sudden wave rush of emotion. I am a little bit down right now. Can't deny that. Things aren't going the way I want them to go, and at this point in my life, problems are job searches. One isn't cutting it at the moment, so going around checking in person to no avail. But that's just today. I can go back home, do this as I'm doing right now. And yeah, I'm a little low energy, yeah, but this will all pass me by. And it's something I've really been locking into myself recently. That emotion that comes, whichever emotion comes in the moment, whatever you're feeling, it's all gonna pass you by, and it's not gonna matter in a day from now, in a week from now, in a month from now. And it's all just about how we manage and go about those emotions that dictate what outcomes we get in life. Are we always being swayed by our emotions? Are we always checking to see if this mic's even recording? Hope it is. Um, where was I? Our emotions dictating our actions, and for the longest, so this is kind of going on last video, and I kind of have a more clear view of what exactly I was going through. Trying to look at that camera there, but I was in a cycle of not being able to control my emotion, even though I thought I was able to control my emotion. It really wasn't. And today, literally this an hour ago, before this video, it came to me that now I'm learning how to manage emotion. The day went horrible. Day didn't reach my expectations. I was expecting hopefully to walk in one of those follow up interviews and get the job right there or get an interview there. Instead, I was just kind of tossed to the side, blagged away, and it stings. It's annoying because I really need a job. I really want a job, specifically at those locations. But it just says it isn't. I guess it wasn't meant to be. I'll continue following up with those, but there's more ahead of me. There's more I got to do, more places I got to visit, and that's fine. I'll take it to the chin. It is what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it in this exact moment. But main part of everything is I can sleep sound, knowing that I at least gave my input for the day, and not that I'm comfortable with. It's only if I didn't do that, then I would feel worse about myself. Not worse about myself, but I'd be living a lie. I'd be letting emotion dictate my outcome. And with this whole shift being, I feel as if I'm finally getting control over my life. Being conscious of what I'm doing, being conscious of why I'm doing it, being conscious of how I feel, and not letting it affect me. Just experiencing the emotion, whatever kind of emotion it is, and still doing what I was supposed to do, still writing my tasks, still going about the day properly, not letting that cloud me or letting that dictate my action and deviating from what I was supposed to do just because I feel a certain way, as I would do a lot before. I feel an emotion like this, then I just completely destroy the rest of my day because I felt sad, or I'd reflect on it more than I had to because I wanted to see how I could have done better. And I was doing it for good reasons, trying to do better, but micromanaging emotion and trying to reflect too much is just there just gets to a point where it's not productive anymore. And I did take a little time to myself. Around where I was applying, there's a Claremont Village. Throw it out there. I just chilled in the center with the water and just was present purely there. Thought about some things. Congrats to my cousin for graduating. Called him up, and now it doesn't affect me as much. It'll probably show a little bit in this video. I am a little bit down in energy. This is what it is. I still have a whole day to go about. Still, still have to show up for the rest of the day. This is no excuse to check out early or do things irrationally because of the way I feel. That's behind me now. I'm slowly growing into the person I know I can be, and that person is not made overnight, or it's not made with a single decision or single action, but with a lot of small realizations, small actions, mini wins in total. Being aware of my emotion, being aware of, am I really doing this because I feel inclined to, or am I doing it uh, in spite of an emotion that arised? So I guess this whole kind of concept is, I kind of just started ranting off. I just feel sudden rush, but the whole thing going is emotional management is a superpower. Without emotional management, that's how you get into addictions. That's how you get into seeking outside happiness, outside contentment that are unrelating to your goals, but they're comfortable. And I was in that for a very long time. My vices were food, you know, spicy content. Yes, yes, I admit I was that was one of my vices, along with food, distracting myself from the world, social media scrolling, the usuals that are, especially in this day and age, very present and prominent in society. But as of only recently, I've been learning to be in control of my own things. Before, I thought I was really trying, and I really was. I would try to emulate success. I would try to be successful, but I was thinking about it too much. I was putting this whole persona of myself in my head rather than living it. And it's not now until I started living it, and I know it's only been like a week or so, but actually living it, that over a long time horizon will bring results. Because despite today things not going my way, I still did the action, and tomorrow I'm still gonna do the action despite losing all dependency on how outcomes turn out, letting it dictate you. So just separating yourself from outcomes, focusing on your input, and just being consistent with it. You hear this all the time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And before, I was trying to sprint, and things wouldn't work out, I would quit, sit on the bench for a little, and then get back on the line to sprint again, rather than continuously jogging and finishing on however long it took, not fixated on a certain outcome. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that off my mind. This was the perfect opportunity because I'm in the raw emotional state to capture this. And I honestly don't even know what I'm going to label the video. Just, kind of sum it all up to just emotional management, not being tied to the outcome, and living what you're saying. Living what you think of yourself rather than just having it in your head and thinking you are a certain way just because you know information. That means nothing. And being who you are, not being a copy and paste of anyone. I've been learning things from people. I want this aspect of that person, but bringing it into my own life. So you shape your own future. Your thoughts and actions dictate where you'll be. And I'm slowly learning on that, and I'm excited to see where this would be in a couple months from now of just consistent action despite the outcome.